Hi, it's Kelsey. This is what we are working with today. Just so much toy clutter. We do not have a true playroom in our house. So these shelves and this little closet here kind of turns into our toy storage, and it has just become so cluttered with so many things that are out of place. I feel like when the toys are organized, like the little characters are in their bin and the furniture for the dollhouse is in its bin, the Legos are in their bin, the kids play so much better and it's so much easier to pick up. But this is the time of year where we're outside as much as possible, and the inside has definitely been neglected, and especially this area. So I am decluttering it all, putting things back where it goes, reorganizing and doing some toy rotation, and just putting some of them down in the basement because there's just way too much out on the shelf. I love these shelves. They are from Amazon. We got them several years ago. They definitely utilize some vertical storage space, which is nice. And I do love that they're attached to the wall, so I don't have to worry about them falling on the kids or anything. And that they're open. That is kind of like a Montessori thing, and that's what I originally was thinking when I got them, is that I want it to be open. It's easier for the kids to see, their toys and then actually play with them compared to them being hidden away in a tote or something. However, it is way too crowded on these shelves, so it is time to get rid of some of them, donate them, or just put them in the basement for toy rotation, so they have something fresh and new in a couple months. I actually recorded this video about a week and a half ago, so now we have been living with it for a little over a week, and it is so functional. Decluttering, I hope this video gives you motivation to do it because it has been a game changer. The kids are so much better about picking things up when it's like not so overwhelming by all of the little toys and all of the things that won't even fit on the shelf. So just having enough that actually fits on the shelf is just so much better for our family and for our home to function. Every evening this week, we've put on this YouTube video that it's so simple. It's like a countdown of 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and it like sings a little song like clean up the room, come on, clean up the room. It's like, I think it's under cleanup song, but they absolutely love it. It's so simple, and they are able to put everything back where it belongs much easier now that it's been cleaned up and reorganized, and it's just not even overwhelming, because before, like I said, things wouldn't even fit, so then they were trying to put things on the floor and stuff, and honestly I took away so many toys and they haven't even noticed, and they have been playing so nicely this last week and a half. I think that they don't understand like anxiety or overwhelming or clutter, but as parents we can protect them from it, and then they thrive without it. So hopefully some motivation just from my experience with this decluttering of the toys, but hopefully this video as well, seeing it, gives you some additional motivation, and let's get going. So, and as when I got rid of everything, or started moving things off the shelf, I just started dusting, which hasn't been done in so long. This was definitely needed. For dusting, I literally just use Thieves. It is the all-purpose cleaner from Young Living that you get the concentrate. I think it's like $30, around $30 for a bottle of just the concentrate, and I put 2 capfuls in my bottle and then fill it up with some filtered water, and even throw in some lemon essential oil for extra cleaning smells. And like I said, I use it everywhere. It's all purpose. It's very, very low toxic, if toxic at all. A lot of essential oils in there, and I use it for everything: cleaning windows, cleaning mirrors, cleaning high chairs, cleaning, dusting, any and all. And the one bottle of concentrate will last me at least, I would say, a year. It takes a very, very long time to use it all up, just because to fill up one spray bottle, you're only using 2 capfuls. So in my opinion, it is super nice. Don't have to ever go buy or worry about finding a good ingredient, all-purpose spray to use in your home. So I'll put a link for that down below just in case you're interested. And then I get the glass bottle from Amazon just so there's no microplastics leaching, from the bottle being sprayed all over my home. So yeah, glass bottle, thieves, and filtered water. You can put oils, like I said, I put lemon, but you don't have to. It's just to make it smell even better. If you have a non-toxic cleaning spray that you love as well, feel free to leave it down below. I mean, I've used thieves for years, but I am probably open to trying something new. But I just haven't found anything that is as clean and all-purpose as and works as well as thieves. And then here I'm using my favorite non-toxic, basically magic eraser. It's like from Norwex. It is a powder that you just use a damp cloth on. And I had something hanging here, a little sign, that's why there's a nail. And I took it off, and it left some marks on the wall. So I'm using the non-toxic magic eraser to get it cleaned up. It doesn't do it absolutely perfect. Probably some paint will do the job correctly, but it definitely looks better after I've done this. Okay, so now I am going through our messy bookshelf. If there's one thing that I want in my home are all the books. I know I talked about the library before, but it's a great resource to get books from the library, but it's nice to also just have some on hand. And that the majority of these books probably came from a library book sale. You should definitely check out your local library, or even if there's like a town nearby that has a nicer library, look at their Facebook page, and a lot of them will have sales, and that is where I got the majority of these books. The one closest to us, it's like the first Friday and Saturday of the month, and you can go there and fill up a whole bag for $5. So that's pretty amazing. So be sure to check that out and see if you have anything similar. But now I'm just going through and going to completely reorganize them. And like I said, I did this about a week and a half ago, and it has already been a game changer. I decided not to do like alphabetical order because let's be honest, we don't ever look for like a specific book title. So I did it in like seasonal books and classic picture books, character books, history, like social studies types books, educational books, and I think that was, biblical books. So I kind of stacked or sorted them like that. And it's really been so easy to find what I'm looking for, and we're reading them more often. It kind of going through them all reminded me, oh yeah, we have a lot of really nice books. We need to read these. We love doing a read aloud, at least. I would say actually, we've been in a really good habit of doing a read aloud in the morning, and then like right after breakfast, and then right before bed. We just actually read like a little chapter book, a Leroy Ninker. He was like a cowboy. It's like the first chapter book that my kids laughed out loud at. So I think it was called Leroy Ninker Saddles Up. And it was pretty cute and funny. So I recommend it. Especially if your kids are like into like cowboys, or it was kind of silly. But yeah, so the baby's awake now from his nap, and yeah, we have this huge pile going on. So now it's time to reorganize it and put it back. And this was no small feat. I think I am reaching the point of this project of, wow, I'm in pretty deep now. I can't turn back, but getting a little bit overwhelmed, but just power through it because it is so nice now that it's all set up. Like I said, we are actually utilizing our books so much more than we were, and they're staying organized. Like, it's super functional the way I organized it. So hopefully you are able to make some time to do the same, especially at the beginning of this school year, if you homeschool, or even if you don't. I mean, it's so wonderful to read books to your children, for them to hear all the different vocabulary words. My husband and I were just talking about, we weren't talking about AI, but I feel like everyone around us is talking about AI, and it's kind of creepy and scary to us. And it's really showing that it's dumbing us down even more, that we don't have to think for ourselves to use words properly. So that's why I love reading books to my children, because I want them to know how to talk and to hear all the different types of words. It exposes them to so many more words than the TV can, or whatever. So, but anyway, I love the way the bookshelf turns out. It's like so pretty because I put all the little golden books together. That's what I'm working on right now. And yeah, very aesthetically pleasing but functional. So we love books so much. My kids specifically love like exciting and suspenseful books. So if you have any good picture books that are exciting or suspenseful but are also educational, please feel free to comment them down below. We recently read some historical figures books, like important times in their lives, but it's like when they're children. So, and it was a picture book. So we read JFK. He one time took his parents' boat sailing with his little sister. I don't remember how old he was, but like maybe like 8 or 9, and a storm came in, and he was able to handle it and get the ship back home. So, and then we read a George Washington one that was like about when he was a little boy, and he was trying to persuade his mom into letting him go visit his brother at Mount Vernon, which was like 30 miles from their house. And he was kind of like seen as the man of the house because his dad had passed away, so he had to like figure out how to persuade his mom. But they're both really good, and I love that they were historical, but yeah, fun and exciting for the kids. And then we also, I forgot, we bought a Tuttle Twins book. I've heard so many good things about Tuttle Twins, but I was always afraid to do them yet because I thought my daughter and my son were too young for it. My daughter is 6 and my son is now 4. So I got just one of them, and it was like called the Miraculous Pencil, and it explains how a pencil is actually created and all the people and different things it goes through for just to make a pencil. And so it was just a read aloud that I was going to try one morning, and they were playing and I just started reading it, and by page 3 they were both sitting next to me super into it. So if you are thinking, yeah, your kids are not quite old enough for Tuttle Twins, definitely give it a try because they loved it. And I found it in this whole process of cleaning these books up. So I'll show it here soon after I get them all organized. But yeah, glad I went ahead and did this because it reminded me, oh yeah, we have this book that we haven't read. So yeah, sometimes you have things that you could use and you don't have to just keep being a consumer and get more and more and more. And yeah, that's the problem I think nowadays is it's just like we have Amazon and Instagram and influencers trying to get us to buy more, and then our house gets so cluttered up. Ugh. So yeah, let's declutter. And here are these books that I was talking about. The story of inventions, they've loved that. We've learned about how potato chips were invented in toilets. And then the Tuttle twins. I actually was able to thrift that. Our homeschool co-op had a curriculum resale, and someone had all of them there, so that's where I got that one just for $5. So yeah, I'm all about the thrifting of books. Oh, and then that little arts and hands crafts. My daughter is always wanting to do a craft, and she's always, I hate it because but it's such a good resource. Pinterest is such a good resource, but I've kind of got her in the habit of looking at Pinterest to create a craft. And I want her to, number one, use her creativity and to create one herself. But I got that book out thinking, okay, next time she's like, I want to craft, I'm going to tell her, go look in that book. It'd be perfect instead of wanting to look at my phone or something. Okay, we had to get some fresh air and get outside because it was actually so beautiful out, minus the sweat bees. I don't know if it's like it is at our house, but if we're outside, it's so nice out. It's not terribly hot, but then the darn sweat bees show up. So I actually have found kind of a cure for it, or some tips. Sprinkling peppermint essential oil all over you or all over where you're sitting, it seems to keep them away. Read it in the essential oil book. And then also, I haven't tried this yet because I need to get some cheaper salt because I have really high quality expensive salt, so I hate to waste it. But I've read that if you put salt in a bowl nearby where you're sitting, or where the area you're in, it'll attract the bees to the bowl instead of to you. So 2 tips there on sweat bees. But yeah, so I decided to move all of the bins that have needed to be gone through out on the porch, and now I am officially going through it and organizing, putting the play food in a bin, putting the musical instruments in a bin, the little tiny stuff, trashing stuff, donating stuff, all of these bins when I'm in a hurry to pick up. Like, I'm just like so over the clutter, or it's like the end of the day and we don't have time to put everything back correctly. I will just grab one of these bins and put everything in it. And so that has pretty much been happening all summer since I did some spring cleaning. So these are all from these instances. So now it feels really good to actually be going through them and putting them back and finding things that my kids been looking for. And but I will say most of the stuff, they didn't even notice it was gone. So I was really tempted to just donate it all. but I didn't. I did organize it back up. So yeah, this was quite a process, but taking it outside helps. And yeah, just sitting there and getting it done. Like I've said before, I love to listen to podcasts, or I'm doing the Bible recap on the Holy Bible app, where you get to read the Bible in chronological order. I'm truly understanding it the best way I've ever in my life. So doing those type of things helps this process here. And I ended up with so many empty bins. So that's cool. I put them down in the basement for now. But now, yeah, if I need a bin, I don't need to go buy something from Target or whatever. And that was actually on a cleaning podcast that I listened to. That was like, some people think that their bins are too small and they need more bins. But it's like, do you need more bins or do you need less stuff? That was kind of a light bulb moment for me. So yeah, the kids ended up coming home and I had to make dinner and do all that stuff. So now this is bedtime. The kids are in bed and I put on a documentary. It was actually Kirk Cameron's homeschooling documentary. It was good. If you're new to homeschooling, it would be very helpful to watch. It was funny, more funny for me just because we're used to the homeschooling lifestyle now, and a lot of things what people were saying is like, oh yeah, we do that. Oh, that sounds, yep, that's about right. So very relatable. But anyway, put that on and finishing up all of these bins and reorganizing, and yeah. finally done. This was a big project, but I'm so thankful that I made the time to do it. It really simplified this whole section, and like I said, it's been super functional. Just simply doing toy rotation. I hope it gives you the motivation to go do the same in your house, so you can live a more intentional and simplified life. I definitely treated myself to hot fudge sundae after this.
Hi, my name is Kelsey. I live on a small farm with my husband and 2 young children. I love sharing motivational videos for cleaning, non-toxic living, baking with sourdough, gardening, homesteading, homeschooling. So if you're into these kind of things, please be sure to like and subscribe.